74 northbound, clear, here, main one.
Are you 372 of the second oak? Stand by. Uh, 371, give me one of the car numbers to head car over. ATGX 19272 over. Right, hold on. These cars are, they put these cars on the 372. And then the next one is going to be a CAEX 47118, CAEX 47071, ADMX 560376, ATGX 448. So, yeah, over. Alright, stand out. Coming out of railfan.
Northbound clear. Sorry. Main one.
Hello, rail friends. Thanks for being back with Casey and I. It is Trackside Thursday night live here in exciting, historic Dalton. And y'all are hanging out with me, and I'm hanging out with y'all. And thanks for jumping on with us tonight. I was just listening to that conversation. I wanted to hear the rest of it pan out. I'm not sure what you guys think, but she sounded a little, what's the word I want? Exasperated. But anyhow, sounds like she's going to get it worked out. And wherever they put those cars, we're going to figure them out. Whatever door is open, it's going to get handled. And I couldn't tell if our northbound that just went through was 74 or 274. Couldn't quite understand. All I clearly got was 74. So, we're here, you're here. Remember, 2 rules. 1, have fun. Jump on. Shout out the power on the locomotive models that you see. Where that train's been. If you're up the line, down the line, around the line, anywhere on the line, let us know. You up in Tunnel Hill, you guys down in Rome, all the way up to Chattanooga. Seth, if you're hanging out at Long, which is Howardsville Road, y'all just jump on, let us know what's coming, what's going, what's here, what's there. And I said, we'll have fun. That's rule 1. Because if we can't have fun, there ain't no reason to hang out on a railroad corner if you can't have some fun doing it. Number 2, if the scanner talks, Mike does it so that we don't miss anything important, unimportant, or just whatever. In case they decide to discuss who their favorite team is, let's hear. Especially when we go to Coffee's Cliff. You hear a whole orientation about a whole lot of things. So, number 1 in the bag, our northbound on the Atlanta North District, NS, headed up to Barnell and then Cohutta. And right next to this NS track is CSX track, the W and A sub historic line, as all of you know, and if you don't, the general passed right through here. All right, he's now at Waring. Our northbound's at Waring, which is just on the other side of Dalton, where one track goes to double track. So let's kind of listen to what's going on. I got a couple more things to set up. Got to get the lights out, what have you. And oh, hey, Casey was with me. Let's see, what day was this? Oh man, the mosquitoes are out already. Jeez. It's like somebody sent a notice. Mike was coming. Let's have dinner. Anyhow, where was I going with this? Oh, Casey was hanging out. If I ever have a motorcycle, it's not going to be noisy. I won't be able to hear myself. Casey was hanging out with me on Saturday. We did a little road trip and a couple other things, and we were talking about my night lights. So I ordered the first set of 3 much higher power than what we carry, the portable ones. Right now, we can pretty much haul these anywhere. I can go cross country and hike them with me. They're pretty durable. They're great. But we just need a little more wattage. That time of the year is coming where the day gets shorter, gets a little colder. All that doesn't have anything to do with the light. But we got a new 3-light head, totally 360. So we can do a lefty kind of version, a righty kind of version, a head-on version, all of them this way, all of them that way, all kinds of cool things.
Norfolk Southern, milepost 36.2, no defect. Repeat, no defect.
362, we're at the 40, so great, that's working tonight. We'll be able to hear it coming and going. That's our indication of on NS if something's coming our way. So if you hear it again, means southbound action at us. So, y'all.
Norfolk Southern, milepost 36.2, no defect. Repeat, no defect.
So, y'all hang out, get comfortable. We're here for a couple hours. I got another early morning at the other place. So, let's go ahead and get settled in. Get your favorite beverage if you hadn't had dinner yet. Well, we've got Reds to the north. Go ahead and grab something to eat. Haven't heard anything out of Elk 808 yet. Fire department left just before we got here. So let's kind of catch up, get caught up with the lay of the land, what's coming and going. Let's see what she has going on with her trains and her cars open and what have you. And we're going to go from there. So everybody, thanks for being with us. And let's have a fun night. Sorry. Here comes a couple more. Woo.
Next station, dispatch on the L80803 over.
Speaking of,
IDS to 371 on the second, over. 71, the train has been rebuilt with the cars. First car being AEX 19272. The rear car is the ATGX 448. Over. You're welcome. Forget the part-time, be safe, IDS is out.
oh, I got a whiff of something.
He'll need to be coming by in about, 20, 25 minutes or. Thanks, you dispatch route.
Oh, my dad used to do that. I can remember when I was younger, we would all count. 1, 2, 13, 14, 16. He could sneeze off 18 of them in a heartbeat, and so could I. Oh, excuse me. So, there you heard it. We just had a chat with L808. So, Jonathan, if you're on yet, haven't seen all who's on with us yet tonight. But L08 has southbound CSX action in Tunnel Hill, about 8 miles north of us, you guys. So it sounds like next on the slate, for those of you counting, stop. Next on the slate, I'm going to assume shall be CSX. However, as we've talked before, where the diamond is, CSX controls the junction point here. There's actually 2 diamonds, but the one that both of them share is just past the NS quad, and the NS lights are the 4 highest up. Those are and then the 2 you see behind the single pole, those are CSX. But CSX controls who has the first right-of-way. So we shall assume CSX southbound will be next with us. Cody, if you're on, you should either already hear or hearing at any time our southbounder, which they are guessing to be through here in about 25 minutes. So we know, and I've been at work, I was at my office a little while, I watched the cam down here. There was a lot of activity today. And if any of you are familiar with the accident that occurred Wednesday morning with the train, the NS train going through a semi here in Dalton, fill us in. Like I said, I have been so busy with my other job that I haven't had a chance to keep up with some of the stuff going on. So anybody that's got background on what happened Wednesday, fill us in, because I'm interested too. So let me get a couple more things set up here, and then we can all chat for a little bit. And we got a wedding party. They're all dressed up, taking pictures. They've been over here on the Southern Pullman car that's located here and whatnot. The family's there, so cool. Next will be the children at a cost of $225,000 per child to get them raised to age 18. Oh, here comes our fire truck back. That's the one that left out here just a little while ago. Code 3, red lights and siren. Giving them all a big wave. Thank you guys for your service and for taking care of everybody here in Dalton. And gals, there's probably gals in there too. I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So we'll go back and do that over. Hey, thanks guys and gals in there for your service and taking care of all of us here in Dalton. There, now we got everybody. I can stay out of trouble. I get enough trouble, I don't need to add to it. And as you can see, a little bit of traffic tonight. Over at the Crescent City Tavern, pretty good crowd tonight. Home of the bootlegged truck. Picture there on the side. And so quickly, the sun is down. I don't even know what time it is, 7:30 or so, but there's production unit, little piece of production unit 6. And the sunset's already, poof, gone. How fast was that? Trying to hold back another sneeze. So, but it's a great night. I'm going to guess 75, 76 degrees. Very, very little breeze. So if you all have wind noise, let me know. I'll put the dead cat on. Otherwise, we'll just run without it tonight so you get that full effect. There's our northbound signals as we get settled in. So, like I said, if y'all are hearing a wind noise, let me know, and I'll get the dead cat and put her on. It on. Him on. All of it on. Here comes our fire truck back, but he's not code 3. He's just coming back. E2. I'm going to guess the E stands for emergency 2. Unless they just like the letter E. Could be B2. Could be D2. Z2. Well, I guess we'll just stick with the E2 thing, though, for the moment. And, like I said, if you guys are getting wind noise, let me know. We'll throw the dead cat on. as we face back north. Whoa, you don't like that adjustment. Sorry there. Gotta fix that one. John, thanks for that. For those of you that aren't quite sure what John sent us that note on, 10 Bridge and where we've been the last couple nights, where I think it was the Chattanooga Free Press described our rains in North Carolina and what have you of biblical proportions with just astronomical amounts of water rushing through. So the last couple nights, Tuesday night, Wednesday night, we were up there. Tuesday night, I think there was 4 floodgates open at lake level. Last night there were 6 floodgates open. Have not had a chance to kind of catch up with them today to see what today was like. But we were talking about how historic 10 Bridge is and how old it is. And John's referring to 1933 is when 10 Bridge was built. And John, correct me if I'm wrong, and if I get a moment, I'm going to look back. The bridge prior to 10 Bridge collapsed. And when I get a moment here, I'm going to try and get that date. But Casey had sent me pictures of it. And again, if my memory's right, and John probably can tell me before I even look it up, that there was a steam train on that bridge when it went in. So, like I said, if I get a moment here, I'm going to try and hook that up or find that. In the meantime, John, if you already know, you can tell me, and it'll save me looking it up, but there's pictures available of it. Tony, I see you had a chat with Marge. Was she going north, south, headed to Nashville, headed to us? Where was she headed? And Tony, tell everybody what's going to happen on October 19th. Y'all mark your calendars. And I believe on Friday night, or maybe it's Saturday night, well, I'll send Brian a note. They're going to do a photo shoot session there in Collin at the Railroad Museum on the static equipment that's there. So I'll send Brian a note here real quick and confirm, is that Friday night or Saturday night? So let me see what John's got to say here. Tony, you fill everybody in on what's happening the 19th. And then for those that watch it at a later date, I'll cover all of it just in case they don't look at the subtitles for the chat when they're watching. There's so many people watch these after the fact. So, Tony, fill us in. Okay, I found it. Apparently the date is March 17 of 1916. A span of the Tennessee River Bridge in Chattanooga, Tennessee collapsed while a southbound freight train crossed. Now I'm trying to make sure that I've got the right bridge. So, since it doesn't look anything today like it did back then. Oh, okay, that must be correct because it's saying on the evening of March 30th, the first passenger train, train number 11, the Royal Palm, crossed over the completed bridge and business returned as usual. And I'm looking at a picture with this story. The island shown to the left was the site that would be chosen to become the Chickamauga Dam that was completed in 1940. And another interesting fact is the pier on the far right edge of the photo is the only original pier that still exists today. And it has now become a popular train watching location, Ten Bridge. Every time I look at something, somebody spelled it different. Capital T-E-N, capital B-R-I-D-G-E, and then some T-E-N-N, B-R-I-D-G-E, and then capital T-E-N, B-R-I-D-G-E. So everybody spells it different, but I know it doesn't have two N's. According to this article from back when, it's capital T-E-N, capital B-R-I-D-G-E. John, you agree? You're my historian tonight. Anyhow, the AGS line helped with the CNO and TP bridge team to get that thing repaired. It goes on to say 2 shifts of 150 men from the VANG construction company worked day and night with the use of pile driving. The river equipment repairs were completed in 13 days. And the crews from VANG happened to already be in town constructing the Market Street Bridge in downtown Chattanooga. So, hey, what better time to have your bridge fall when there's a bridge construction team in town? Not that it's a good thing to lose your bridge, but, you know, if you're going to get sick, it's always great to get sick next to the doctor. You don't have to go anywhere. Anyhow, hey, we're back trackside. Still showing red to the north. We know that our other CSX is due at any time because he was up in Tunnel Hill. Everything's a little quiet on the scanner, so we're going to continue to listen. I'm going to do my history here on the 10 Bridge, and this is from the Southern Railway Historical Association. posting this information about the 10 Bridge collapse. And we have sirens again. Well, hello, Art. I'm glad to see you made it home safe. I have great information because I hang out with great people. All of you guys right here on Rail Moments, live, trackside, in historic Dalton, where the sirens are wailing as everybody heads to the next emergency of the night. We're hanging out here waiting for the next train of the night. And that is probably going to be CSX, according to CSX Dispatch. He should be just north of us and waiting to make his appearance. He might be a little bashful, so we'll have to do that train dance thing like Sheldon does up in Cowan. He gets those trains just come right on by. Speaking of Cowan, Tony was talking earlier that October 19th, it's a Saturday, Rail Day fan, or Fan Rail Day, or Rail Day fanning, whatever call you want to call it. It's a day to everybody hang out at the Railroad Museum, do some rail catching, watch the pushers, and just have a good time. And Cowan is very unique. We've talked about it so many times. There's two pushers there that the huge mountain that they got to go up and over. So the train, those two locomotives are based there. And on the southbounds, they get behind, push them up and over. On the northbounds, they go over on the other side of the mountain, push them up and over. At the top of that mountain, there's a tunnel they go through. So it's real cool. If you go in the railroad, oh, here comes the guy with no lights on. I wonder how many miles he's going to drive before he figures out that, gee, everything's really dark in front of my car. So far, hasn't figured it out. Anyhow, back to the pushers there. But if you go in the Cowan Railroad Museum, they've got an HO model set up, and part of it is a replication of the hill and where they go up and over. And there used to be a track, or that's still up there, but apparently not used. There's a track that runs over the CSX track that used to do, and I forget, Brian was telling me, I forget where that line ran to, but very cool. And it's got ventilation deals on the top of it for the tunnel. So if you go to Cowan, you'll find out everything there is to know about that cool, and it's great setup. Huge if you want to both photograph and or video and or drone. It's a tremendous open space there. They've got a real nice static display of different railroad pieces of equipment, flat car, caboose, all the things that the kids like and the adults like. And inside is just a very beautiful depot. And the depot is not owned by the city. It is privately owned. So your support of the depot will be really, really appreciated. So membership's super cheap. Go up, hang out, take your spare change, throw it in the donation bucket, whatever. Make yourself feel good because they all work real hard. But it's very, very nice. And you'll see a whole bunch of history that it used to be, for sake of conversation, on that side of the track. And when they were going to destroy it, a group got together to preserve it, but they said, hey, if you want it, it's not staying here. You got to take it somewhere. So they had a moving company come in and literally move it from that side of the track to this side of the track. So there's all kinds of cool history and pictures. GE, I didn't realize this, GE brought one of their first new locomotive types through there, and that was one of the stops. Used to be a huge passenger stop location, but they brought their GE locomotive there. It's a new prototype coming out. So there's pictures of it when it was there. It's just really, really cool. So just, hey, the leaves are getting ready to change. Let's see, where do I want to take a drive to today to see the leaves? Okay, my choice is Cowan, because there's beautiful leaves. I go through Stevenson, see all that, go down Highway 72, or, oh, I know, we could drive up and see Anne Marie up in Connecticut. Boy, the bugs are out tonight. We could take a field trip to Anne Marie's place and get some fresh maple syrup and head on up to Connecticut, see the leaves change there early, and then come on down and see Brian and everybody and Tony all over in Cowan at the depot. So anyhow, here we go, back to the tracks. I don't know how I got started on all that, Art, but you got me there somehow. But anyhow, we're back to the tracks. Art's hanging out, probably got his feet up like that, all rested and relaxed. And Sherry probably cooked him this massive, incredible dinner that makes me jealous because, whoa, if y'all ever get invited to Art's house for dinner, do not say no. Rush over there because it's gonna be yum and numb all in the same sentence. And Miss Sherry's my hero because she does her Christmas tree way early. My wife, still traditional, the day after Thanksgiving. But I think it was you, Art, if I'm not mistaken, make a ghost tree. Get the Christmas tree out, put a big old white sheet on it, spray paint some faces on it, and call it a ghost tree, and you got the Christmas tree underneath. So, a couple ideas for you guys for y'all's house, but anyhow, if you get the opportunity to meet Art and have dinner at his house, Miss Sherry is gonna spoil you. So, back to the track. Looking to see what's flashing. It's still flashing. Down that way in the dark. L808's down there somewhere. Haven't heard much out of him other than the fact that our southbound CSX should have been here some time ago. But since it's Bashville, it'll make it. So, let's hang out and I'll see what y'all got to say now that I figured out that the bridge did collapse and that my memory wasn't bad. Oh, I just reading back on the notes, everybody. We're going back to the first 10 bridge. The first 10 bridge was a wooden bridge. Thanks, John. Railroads of Chattanooga from John Wilson. There's some cool information on. There's the picture back where the railroad tunnel that they used to use. There was a siding there and everything. If y'all get a chance, and there's a hardback version, John, if I'm not mistaken, and there's also a paperback copy. But really, really interesting pictures in it. So if y'all come to Chattanooga to Railfan, I think even Cracker Barrel has them. But like I said, there are hardback versions of it that are really cool. But it's super, super interesting. John may tell you a little bit more about his, but if you get a chance, or if you know a rail fan, you want to give something cool for Christmas, there's an idea right there for you. And 19 Crash 84, how are you tonight? A super great big hi and thank you for last night. Crash came out, hung out with us while we watched the double train meetup while the water was roaring underneath, or roaring out of the stillways, and crashing up against the pylons of the current 10 bridge. We had a northbound go across about midpoint. He stopped because he had to wait for a southbound coming, although it is double track, but he had to wait for the one that was in front of him. And the whole time he sat there, the entire drawbridge portion.
EC dispatcher, Jacksonville, answer door. You're in the clear at the ramps, which is a normal. I'll run the southbound train over. You on? About 35 minutes behind him. If you do, just give me a call. But he'll go down here to Resaca to meet a northbound train, you know, so you got about 35 minutes once he goes by south, or if you want it over. Yeah, and then this northbound will be trying to come by north in 35 minutes over. All right, thanks, Stacy. Dispatcher out.
All right, there you guys got the poop scoop. CSX southbound headed to us right now. And then 35 minutes later, coming to us is a northbound CSX, L808, in case this is your first time with us tonight. L808 is the local switcher locomotive that's just working just south of us down by Walnut. And dispatcher was telling him he's got 35 minutes if he needs to come out and work. So, get ready. CSX coming south. 35 minutes later, CSX going north, and then we'll catch NS in between all this. So, y'all start listening. We should hear him calling North Dalton, and you should be hearing that whistle. So, y'all tune in, and everybody yell when they hear it, and y'all shout out the power on the locomotive models when you see them. Like I said, have fun with this. Call a friend, say, hey, get on, chat with us, keep up with us. Anybody that's been railside today and caught something, fill us in. I see that there's all kinds of cool stuff going up the Etowah line. We need to find somebody of authority and say, hey, give us some of the cool stuff too. Like 1 for them, 2 for us. Right now it's like 6 for them and maybe 1 for us at 4 in the morning. So, enough for me for the moment. Let's get ready for CSX coming our way here in Dalton. Oh, look at that. I hear it already. That green sign you see there in the middle glowing is the sign marker for hair, H-A-I-R. The blue paint is where the wires are attached. They have something to do with the signals.
And middle Dalton, south, okay, 143,
And I do believe he said train number 143, and there you go. We got glowage. And there, into the night, goes CSX 143 on the W&A sub, headed to Resaca, where he's going to meet our northbound. Locomotives 4525 and 940 leading that train in that order, as the EOT disappears out of sight behind the control box, and we'll come back. Hey, John, question for you or anyone that knows for sure, because I don't want to tell Art the wrong answer, but right there, you all see the blue paint, and that's where the wires to the rail arms, the lights and gates, to my knowledge, are connected. But, John, can you help me, or anybody that knows, why are they painted blue as opposed to green or red or purple or whatever? So, as you can see, it runs across. Those are, I said there's wires connected there. So, anybody know why the paint's blue? I don't want to tell Art the wrong answer because I have to see him tomorrow. If I tell him a wrong answer, I'm going to feel bad. If I don't tell him an answer, I'm going to feel bad. But if I tell him nobody knows, then I'm in like Flynn. Y'all mark your calendars, by the way, for Tuesday, because I get my first set of stanchion lights, LED, what do they call them? Work site lights on a stand for train brightness. I can't wait until UPS says, "Hey, smiley package for you, Mike." So let me check and see who knows the answer on the blue paint. Oh, there goes the Domino's car, and he's not stopping here. Darn it. I'm going to call it a lifeline. Well, bad news on that one. The telephone post going to my lifeline got washed away up northeast of Knoxville. So, Art, I haven't forgotten the question. I just don't know the answer at the moment. Well, blue paint on a railroad tie means replace. But I can't come up with the answer what it means on the wires that are connected to the rail and why they're parked or painted blue. I get the fact that they send the signal for the on and off part, but I don't know why they're blue. And the two people I know that might know that work and they have something to do with, as John said, the MOW, maintenance of way. Just not sure why blue. And I know there's different contactor points to make the signals activate and turn off. And that blue goes across on both the NS tracks, but not the CSX. Now, that signal box over there is for CSX, and there's controls in it for the gates. And this signal box over here is for NS. And a few weeks ago when you all were with me and we were here, and the gates just came down and stayed down, and then they go up and come down. The CSX work truck showed up, the signal guys did, and then the NS signal guys showed up in their truck, and they all had railroad talk time, and then each one went to their side and checked out the tracks and the signals for the gates and lights and bells. And so those two, or those blue markings, are all on the NS track, which, by the way, NS, even though CSX controls who goes when here, NS does the track work here. So, and supposedly, we're going to get new diamonds this fall or this winter. So, we are going to make sure we keep up with that idea so we can hang out down here. Art, you and Cody can run the place. If you need me, you just send a message on the live, and we will try. He said it's a 12-hour process. All train traffic has to come to a halt, and they'll drop the new diamond off first, then they'll schedule a date, and then for 12 hours they work non-stop. So that'll be cool to see. We'll just have to keep up with the when part and watch for the new diamond to come here to Dalton. If anybody has more information on our train versus semi, please feel free to jump on and tell us. Wednesday morning, 7 a.m. I understood the driver got out of the truck and ran away. Remember, should you get stuck on the track and the train's coming, let's just say you're at this crossing right here, and your car for some reason breaks down, and let's say that car right there is coming across and he breaks down right there, and the train is coming from that direction toward us, run towards the train, because when the train hits your car, that car is going to fly to our left or forward of the train. So if you start running away from the train that's coming, your car is going to probably land on you. So don't let that happen to you. Run back towards the approaching train, obviously not on the track, and once he hits that car, it will take it forward, and you won't have the flying debris going your way. It'll be going forward in front of the train. So, train coming from that way towards us, you'd run back that way because your car would go this way towards those lights. So, here we are back to the signal lights. Always make sure you have safety stuff on when you're around the track so people can see you. It's sunny out. Get your old big old yellow lid on and keep your head from getting burnt. Drink water, wear your sunscreen, and have fun. And like I do, ear protection. You're at a crossing and that train's coming and you're all excited. Trust me, you're going to remember how exciting that train was for hours before you can hear Art say, "Hey, Miss Sherry, I'm hungry." Or, "Ooh, the Christmas tree's up." So we are looking north as those guys go zipping across the track. Don't forget, you guys, 24/7, what you guys have nicknamed the Bird Cam at the 122.8 on the CSX W&A sub, where it goes through Audubon Acres. That's where our live cam is. It does reset. Thought I heard a horn. It does reset at 12A and 12P. We do southbound train action. Let's get the lights on. As Cody says, glow eggs. There goes our Norfolk Southern southbound train. Headed on down to Rome, Georgia. With NS 9070 leading our southbound intermodal, and as you can see, John has called the power on it for you, C449W. So he's making his way south, and coming from the south next should be our CSX. Dispatch said 35 minutes between the two. So we're counting it down. That one stuck up on us because we never heard the defect detector up at the 36 call out like we did earlier. And as you saw, he was sitting because he was pouring some diesel, making that electricity, heading south, that old black smoke coming out of the stack. Hey, John, John, you still here? I have another interesting question. Every now and then, you see a locomotive where the flue, the side of it, has been on fire. What causes that fire that you see really stands out on the BNSF locomotives? I guess they just never paint them. But you see some of the videos where there's sparks and what have you coming out of the stack there on the top. What causes that? Is the diesel engine coming apart? Just what causes that? Oh, hey, look what we got, you guys. Amber. No, somebody's not missing. Oh, hey, look at that, just that quick. Amber, then green. CSX here at the 99. We're ready for our northbound CSX train that dispatch told us about. Woo! As Anne-Marie says, train time. And as Cody says, look for the glowings and yippee. So literally that diesel motor is coming apart and blowing its sparks right off the top. Piston 1 up and over. Piston 2 right behind it. I guess they just give out. Number of hours, lack of maintenance, oil low. I guess all the same things that make our car go kaboom. I sure hate to pay for an engine job on a AC44 C6M locomotive. I'd have to work overtime, and I don't even get overtime. So, let's get ready. Y'all start listening for CSX northbound on the W&A sub right here in historic Dalton, Georgia, where in the late 1800s, a lady named Mary came up with the concept of tufting, Tufting. She ended up putting together a plant of 2,000 employees, and now 90% of the carpet, the world's carpet, comes within 25 miles of where you guys are watching this from right now. Matter of fact, for those of you that do what three words, we are on the sidewalk at Pines, Pines, Viewers, Viewers, and Laptop. So, you can give those three, anyone that's using What Three Words app, you can give them those three words, and they can drive right here to you. Don't need an address, nothing. And if I understand it correctly from Casey, it's a 15-foot square area, and there are three words for every 15-foot square area in the world. So, when I go out in the middle of nowhere, like the tunnel we found up in Marion County at the Hamilton County line, Whiteside Tunnel, it has no address. But when I find something like that, I can just send Casey what three words, and he can find me no matter daylight, dark, takes him right to it just as if it had an address. So, what three words, Pines, Viewers, and Laptop are where we are tonight on the sidewalk at the end of the parking lot at the old historic Dalton Freight Depot and across from the Crescent City Tavern, where their cheeseburgers, if we have talked more than once, are not only massive, but they are incredible. So massively incredible, we'll put them together. Now, our friend who visits every now and then says the wings are even better than the hamburgers, but I haven't checked that out yet, but I need to one of these nights. We'll have a wing versus hamburger test one night in the Crescent City Tavern. And then we'll figure out which is best. So, let's listen for our CSX northbound, where the train action continues here in Dalton, town of about 144,000. And right across from me is the famous ice cream place that everybody talks about. Although I always get here too late to get something. Then we get busy and off we go, and it's the end of another day, just that quick. So, back to our rail action, where we've got CSX coming next with authorization to proceed on their green at the Diamond. The Diamond's right beyond that signal post. If anybody was to the dam today, the Chickamauga Dam, let me know how many gates were open, and if anybody has information on how and what occurred with the truck across the track, the NS train went through the semi. As I understand, the driver got out, thank goodness, and I understand everybody was okay. But if anybody's got details, hey, fill us in. There might even be some free carpet still laying down there trackside before it gets wet. Yelling to you over the motorcycle. CSX coming north.
that transferred over.
Train wheels. You're right, Chuck. You cannot beat the price of rainwater. No question. Hey, everybody. We're going to give it a 15-minute countdown. Tomorrow morning is a super early day for me. Art always beats me in. Cody always beats me in. I'm going to let him do that tomorrow again, but I am going to have to go in early tomorrow. So we're going to start our 15-minute countdown. Anybody got any questions, ideas, or whatever? Shout them out. The cars that were on the siding earlier today got picked up and taken down way earlier, Jonathan, way earlier before we got here. L808 has not discussed coming out or coming up this way. He is working down that way. CSX is not, dispatch has not told him of any other trains north or southbound and told him to go out while that last train was going by, that he could go ahead and go out on the main, and he was good to go, and they didn't give him a time frame. Currently we are red facing the north. So 15 minutes and counting while Chuck checks the radar to see how quick the rain is going to hit that yard. Just remember next year when you're mowing it, I told you so, Chuck. Listening intently. Couldn't quite tell if I heard one or not. So, I'll keep listening. You guys too. If anybody's got a train dance left in their pocket, now's the time to pull it out. 4 minutes and counting for that next train, if it's coming. Right here on the Atlanta North District line, the CSX, W&A Sub, at the Diamond, in historic Dalton at the Freight Depot, as you look at the northbound signal indications for both of those lines. At Junction Point, Hare. Okay, everybody. We are officially packed. And one last spin of the neighborhood where you are looking north towards Varnell, Cohutta, Apposon, Ottawa, and then on into Chattanooga, where you can either go up the C&O and TP, or go to the Debucks Yard, or pass through with NS and go on over to Alabama and beyond in all different directions, or with CSX, you will go on up to Tunnel Hill, Ringgold, Graysville, past Chattanooga Airport, past Coffey's Cliff on the pass-through line through Debucks, over to Waxahachie, and from Waxahachie on over to Bridgeport, Stevenson, and on up to Cowan, and then to Nashville. So, if you're a train and you go that way, those are your options. There's the storage thing here. We'll move you over here just a tad so you get a better view of where we are. Kind of out here in the road, but sorry for the tremor there. There's the historic depot, the freight depot here in Dalton, and the Pullman car from the old Southern line, the cobble streets, the old brick lined streets past the visitor center here. Great place to rail fan. Make sure this is on your list of places to go. And there's the Crescent City Tavern, and that is a big place. Lots of room for parking. We're just off of downtown. Peacock Alley, for those of you that know your history. And Morris Street. And coming up, we're on South Depot Street. There's the trash cans we talk about that the trucks come and dump in all night. There's our crossing. And there's production unit 6, all packed up. Running and ready to go. There's one of everything in there. So, I'm going to move you all to the dash. We will take our closing tour through town, down Peacock Alley. We'll go out through the freight depot here. And when we get to the other end, we'll go past the other depot that's not open. And then we'll end up down at the north end, which they call North Dalton, for the end of tonight's tour. So, here we go, back to the sidewalk where we've been, right there behind the truck. It's the sidewalk we work off of, where the 3 words that I told you about from What 3 Words app took you right to where we were standing. So, come on over here. Let me get you all in the truck and put in the last tripod, and we will be off for a ride. Tony, don't you go anywhere. I got the windshield all cleaned. I keep my fingers out of the truck, sorry, or out of the camera. My bad. All right, let's get you all mounted up here. Hang on. Get you all fastened in here. All right. Y'all sit tight a moment. I'll get the last tripod in, and we will be ready to roll. Okay, everybody. We are loaded up and ready to roll. Taking our drive through the parking lot here at the Visitor Center Freight Depot. Freight Depot and Visitor Center for Dalton Visitor Center is there on your right. Crescent City Tavern there on your left. Like I said, this is very beautiful, very clean, very well lit, right downtown. As we make our way past the old freight depot, they've got quilts hanging in the windows, just like back in the day when everyone brought their quilts and sold them, traded them, showed them off, displayed them. And as we talked earlier, a lady named Mary figured out how to do tufting, which led to invention of carpet. And Dalton, carpet capital of the world. And turning right on Hamilton Street, the tracks and the rail yard go right through the center of town. Kind of the business districts on this side, but you got tons of businesses on the other side as well. And about every other crossing is an overpass, so at no point do you ever get stuck with a train. If you got a problem with this crossing, you just drive up to the next one. And like I said, this is one of those places, as a rail fan, one of those towns you just absolutely need to visit. For dinner, I strongly recommend Cyra's, CYRA''S. And for lunch, the filling station, one of which we will drive by momentarily. Lots of restaurant choices, cigar bar, a little bit of everything here. Even a tattoo if you want one. Here's the other depot here in town. Unfortunately, no longer open. Owned by the city and has structural issues, unfortunately. Very, very sad. We need to find somebody with a lot of money to fix it. Hopefully they will. And here's the other end of town. There's where the tracks come down to at this end. More signal indications. And all the second story to our left, the businesses all up above have been turned into condos above the businesses. So this is the parking lot. Some very, very, very nice places. And here's where we've filmed a few times. And this is where the second diamond is, where the CSX siding comes out and crosses on over. And to the left, Cigar Time Lounge. Straight ahead, the Tattoo. And now you're at the north end of Dalton. And here is the filling station restaurant. Great parking lot. You can sit outside. And right there is the CSX track. So, if you haven't been to Dalton, now's the time to make plans. Like I said, fantastic place, and you can come if you're a night owl. Come at night, come at day. As you see, lots and lots of lights. Sometimes it's a train every 30 minutes. Sometimes it's not. Unfortunately, tonight we were more of the not than we were. So, from Casey and I to all of you, thanks for being with us tonight. I had fun. I hope you did. It's been real fun because I got to hang out with y'all. Got to catch up on everybody. Everybody seems good. Hope everybody's families are great. And keep everybody in the flood areas and the catastrophe areas throughout in your prayers. And our first responders and law enforcement and our medical folks and just everybody take care of everybody. And from Casey and I here at Rail Moments, to all of you, have a good night. Tony, I hope you don't have to be at work at 4 tomorrow. See y'all soon. If something exciting happens tomorrow, like I said, since you're subscribed, as soon as we queue up, you guys will know. So have a good night. Thanks for being with us, and it was fun. See you soon.